Welcome back, everybody. Episode 50. Welcome back, fellas.
Good to be back.
Good to be back.
Great to be back.
Great to be back. You guys sound like you sound like Shorzy. I started watching that shit. You know what I'm talking about?
The
Shorzy?
TV show, yeah.
Do you like it?
Oh my god,
Solid.
I like it. How if you could, for all those listeners out there, I think it's on Crave TV, and it's called Shorzy. It's like men's senior league, but the main guy is Shorzy. He's got the most incredible chirps I've ever heard.
It's a good show.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not for the lighter years, so to speak.
Yeah, don't watch it with
it's
your
not
family.
PG-12 or 13 or whatever it is. It's not safe for work.
No.
But it's hilarious. So I started watching that, and it's like men's league, right? It's men's league freaking glorified, like back in Canada, which is men's league up there is huge.
Senior league, yeah.
Yeah, senior league, and it's awesome.
The Saskatchewan tournament's going on right now.
Oh, is it really?
It is, yeah.
Is your assistant coach upset because he's missing it this year?
He is.
Where's it at this year?
I don't know where in Sassy it is, but it does look like a fun tournament.
Saskatoon, eh?
Saskatoon.
I played up in Humboldt for my junior years, and you could watch your dog running away for like 3 days. It's like the prairies, man, and it's flipping cold.
Oh, yeah.
We just and then we have episode 50.
Corey Crawford.
Corey Crawford.
Yeah.
I know who he is.
Two-time Stanley Cup
I would
winner.
hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so.
He's a defenseman from Montreal. No,
That's right. Yeah.
I sound like Sherman today.
Yeah, he was part of that legacy, though. He was one of the best.
So let's rewind it back. So Sherman, assistant coach for the NA. I told him that I'd give him a week, but it's been 5 minutes. So, but anyway,
Body's still warm.
I get this clip on my phone from Live Barn, and I'm like, what is it? Oh, I shouldn't even say that. I get a clip. Well, you can't get on Live Barn; it's blocked out.
Yeah, it's blacked out.
So, and I'm like, man, there's somebody on the ice, and I'm like, I know you're sending it because something happened, but I had to watch it a couple times.
Well, because it's not like in a drill structure, so like there's just bodies everywhere, so it's hard to tell what's going on. Yeah.
So, I look at this and I'm like, man, somebody got hit, and it's not a player. So what happened, Mike?
So I didn't see it, but and I can't see it on Live Barn because it's blacked out. But I was on the half wall. I was talking to Arias. He was asking me a question about the drill, and all of a sudden I look kind of to my right, and I see like two legs sticking out. And for whatever reason, today was one of those days in practice where like guys were getting taking shots to the top of the foot, going down. Just guys were getting hurt, and so I thought it was just a player because you just saw black, and I thought it was just the D-men's socks. And then I looked a little bit more, and I was like, Sherm. And so I sprinted over, and man, he was like laying down flat on the ice, like hand over head. And I was like, oh man, he got hit with the puck. And I'm looking around, I'm like, does anybody see what happened? And they're all like,
It's a good thing he's had his helmet on.
I know, if he wasn't wearing a helmet, who knows?
He would have been in big trouble.
Yeah.
And so nobody knew what happened. Like the players thought he was joking because of the way he went down. But it just a player was in between drills. We were setting up the new drill, put one off the crossbar. It ricocheted, hit him right where the helmet doesn't protect him, right on the backside. And he went down like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, he fell down like a sack of shit, man. Like
A big.
because when he went
potato.
down, it was just like,
Yeah.
Sherm, man, we love you. Sorry, buddy. I said I'd give you a week, but I've known you for a long time.
I don't know if Sherm can afford like many more hits to the head.
No.
He's had quite a few concussions in his day.
And we were going to come up with a plan today about who's going to lose the most weight, him or I. I got to come up with that. Anyway.
Well, he can't do any high heart rate exercises for a while.
So I should start that right now.
Yeah,
Then
you
get
could
a
head
head start.
ahead.
He's on concussion protocol.
Well, he's probably doesn't even know. We actually confirmed the bet this morning.
There you go. Yeah,
He's not going to remember.
he's not going to remember. And the way I've been
Starts today.
medically informed
You
as
guys
of
heard it.
the way I've been medically informed as of late, mild concussions can last for a very long time,
They can.
and to the point where you can't even be at the rink, lights, things like that. So he might have to take some time off.
Yeah. Well, he's got to punch in for a few hours and he can leave.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? He's got to check in just like the players.
that's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's not allowed to
Just like all of
cop
our
out.
players do. Right.
And he can turn the lights off while practice is going
wear
on.
some sunglasses, man. Be the cool guy.
That's right.
There's a guy. Well, anyway. So this past weekend, we'll start with Mikey. We'll start with you this time. You were home for 2.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about it. Friday night. Let's start with Friday night. Good crowd.
Yeah.
Nobody bitching that it was too loud in here.
No. It was a really good crowd. We came out. I thought we played a good game, not a great game. Slow start. Took a while to get going. Fell behind. We were chasing the game. We were down 3-1. But the entire game, it felt like as long as the moments that we had it going in the O-zone, we were sustaining a lot of pressure and getting opportunities. And it was one of those games where you feel like we're down 3-1, but we can come back on this. And that's exactly what happened. We started building momentum. Probably latter half of the second period, got one. Rupe scored one late, backhander. And then came out, started the third period on the power play. Power play was clicking this weekend. I think we had 3 or 4 power play goals.
It wasn't clicking today in practice.
That was PK practice. That was mock power play.
Thank God. Well, they did a good job.
Yeah.
Good.
We only have 5 guys.
Good. I was seeing right then.
Okay, yeah. That was PK
good
practice.
PK.
Yeah.
Good PK.
Good PK. Shit, I'm glad that wasn't the PP. Because it was the shit.
When you see coffee in a different color jersey, you should know.
I can't see that far, man.
So, we scored.
Go on.
We scored a power play goal early in the third to tie it up, and we were rolling from there. We had a goal called off, which should have counted. The reffing this weekend was
the shits.
Yeah, he's got to have the longest score sheets in the history of the North American League in the past season. I don't know, whatever. So we get a goal called off, but I felt like we were taking it to them. Like we were all over them, getting opportunity after opportunity. We just couldn't find the back of the net. Goes to overtime, but honestly, in overtime, I felt like they had the more possession. And then
I'm telling you, Houlihan, man, he came up big. Big.
Yeah, I was telling Sherm he kind of came to life because at the end of the game we drew up a face-off play and it involved the D jumping up into the rotation, and so we only had one D back, and so we coughed up a puck and he had to make a breakaway save with about 15 seconds left in the game, and he just ate that kid up. Like the kid got in too tight on him and he just ate him right up.
Made him look silly.
Yeah. And honestly, it was a leg pad save down here, the double leg pad save where he had to stop.
Oh, his hip's okay.
Yeah, well, he's moving. And he's getting into his rhythm, and it's like he came to life, and you saw it this weekend. Like, there's a reason that kid's committed to West Point, and you saw it, you saw flashes of it, and he told me he still feels rusty.
Oh, but well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, if that's rusty.
Yeah, if that's rusty, I think we're some good things for him, and but and then going into Saturday.
Well, I didn't finish Friday.
Okay, go ahead.
We wanted overtime.
There we go.
Okay.
Boom, there it is. I just was wondering if you were ever going to get there.
Well, you just said you're at Houlihan.
We only got an hour on the podcast here.
Don't interrupt
You're
me.
taking up about 45 minutes of it.
Don't interrupt me. Tell my story.
Man.
It's my version.
You're going to give Kyle about 30 seconds.
We got plenty of time. There's plenty of time on there.
Oh. Well, we got to talk about Four Nations, too.
Okay. So, Saturday, we were terrible. We didn't compete well enough. Our D zone, we had multiple breakdowns in D zone coverage. And even with that being said, we were still in the game. We had some questionable officiating. We lost a couple guys. They were handing out 10s like candy. It was, to be honest, it was embarrassing for him, in my opinion. The way he handled himself and the way that he dealt with it. I think he was taking things too personal. I think that some of it has to do with what happened the weekend before. And he put us in a tough spot to win a game. It's not an excuse. It's on the players to, control their emotions and not let him get the best of us in that situation. But we did. But even then, we had a chance to tie the game on the power play, down 1 in the third period, and the wheels just kind of came off the wagon after that.
There's some bad bounces. I don't think Houlihan had any part of it, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't Tenner's fault. The one where he rimmed it, it bounced out. It's just some bad luck.
Yeah, it bounced over a D-man stick.
It's just, that was tough. But, yeah, Saturday was a different tale than it was Friday. Obviously, the result was different. But, it is what it is, and especially when Colorado's chasing. Right. I'm not going to say the bottom 7, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
But, it's a tight race, man, and it's going to go to the finish line.
Yeah, like I my comment to the guys, and I think this holds true going forward, is that every single game right now, like we're playing playoff hockey at this point.
Yeah.
Because one, if you take a stretch one way or the other, you go on a little bit of a losing skid or you go on a little bit of a winning streak, like it can really determine your future right now because everybody's in the hunt. And because of that, all the games are going to matter. Every point matters too.
And, the trade deadline came and passed and the drop deadline. So for those, that are wondering, which I'm sure you are, there's a roster freeze, a deadline in any league that you play in, even with the youth. Like my daughter, her roster freezes, I think it's December 31st. But anyway, so ours ended, February 6th was a trade deadline.
Busy day.
It was a busy day leading up to that. I was surprised, though. There wasn't a lot of movement between both the NA3 and the NA. There wasn't a lot of guys available, per se. There was some transactions, but there's a lot of, and I'm not saying backdoor to backdoor, but there's a lot of stuff on the side that's not put out in the open. And we were part of some of that. And again, that's not bad. I don't mean backdoors like, oh, somebody got screwed. But, and then the drop deadline came on the 8th through the 10th. And we picked up a D-man. I'll let you talk a little bit about. We picked up 2 D-men.
Oh, I got a story on this one. Do I have permission to be elongated here? Because this is a long one.
I want to hear it.
Oh, yeah, man, go ahead.
All right, so we picked up a D-man.
I got to work tomorrow. Just throwing that out there.
All right. So we picked up a D-man.
Shout out to T to go
from the Utah Outliers in the NCDC. He's a good puck moving D-man. He was 3rd on their team in points. He's an offensive threat. He defends well. He's an 06. Played Little Caesars. Went phase 1 of the USHL draft. I think this kid was, a hidden gem. We shout out to our scouting staff. Did their homework. Found him and we were able to acquire him. Now, obviously, given the circumstances of the NCDC to the North American League, their players, if they're not on a North American League protected list, we're eligible to talk to any player outside of that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's going to upset some people at times. But all I got to say is I got a quick story as to why I don't, feel maybe I shouldn't. I don't know.
Give her.
So back my first year coaching at UCO, so it was ACHA Division I. I was at the Western State Showcase. This is in Vegas. This is going years back. I was introduced to this gentleman from a team. And
as long as we don't say names, we're good.
Okay. I was introduced to a gentleman from a team. He was from one of the guys that I previously played with. Had a full-blown conversation with him. About 3 hours later, I'm watching this team play. I'm sitting in the stands. Around me, there's NCAA Division III scouts, like just scattered around me. I was the only ACHA guy in the stands at the time. Guy was going around handing out line charts. I had just met this guy, shook his hand, looked him in the eyes. And as he's walking around handing out line charts, he handed a line chart to every single college scout except for me. And he walked right by me and he saw me there. And I know he saw me. And I just saw it. I was a young coach at the time. I was like my first year. And so I was like, okay. And all I thought to myself was, mental note, sir. I'll remember this. Because at some point, we will cross paths again. That's how hockey works. And we crossed paths recently.
Yes, you did.
And I didn't forget. It's funny how that works.
It's a small world. Try to do things the right way as much as you can. But payback's always a bitch.
It is. And honestly, all I have to say is handing somebody a paper, what difference does it make, right? Like, just show somebody the same mutual respect. And it just showed me that, he big dogged me. He big dogged me in that moment.
Yeah, and I know who you're talking about, obviously. I got a lot more to say about that than...
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of things we can't talk about. Yeah.
But, it's, again, the hockey world's really, really small, as big as it is, and everybody knows somebody, and somebody knows everybody. And it's just one of those things, man. But, Kyle, let's talk about your past weekend up in Austin, Texas.
It was a weekend.
Yeah, it was.
For sure. Friday, getting off the bus, we started real slow, and things didn't get much better throughout the weekend. But I think one of the highlights of the weekend, though, was just the way that Mako plays in net. I mean, he really showed true character and stood on his head. But second, third period of Friday, I think we started getting our feet back under us, and we're starting to string together some plays, and just didn't think that we had the manpower to catch back up on Friday. Saturday and Sunday, kind of got away from us, and the boys just didn't have it. Didn't have it this week.
And it's a tough spot that, when you're out of the playoffs and you're coming down to the end of the line, your seasons ends right around the corner, and to keep guys motivated. And I think that the guys are motivated because, your practice today was really enthusiastic and the guys were having fun, hooting and hollering. So they're competing. They want to be here and they're buying into it. But it's tough, man. And you get down a couple goals and I would assume some frustration kicks in and guys are just, get defeated before they're defeated.
And I think a lot of it has been mental for them too, but just they get deflated after a couple goals don't go their way, and it's tough to bounce back when you just don't have quite the depth that you would be hoping for this late in the season.
Right. You got a couple of weeks off, I guess the 2 weekends off, and then you play on a Tuesday, and then you play the weekend.
Yeah,
So-
we're gonna have some fun tomorrow. We got a little 3-on-3 tournament going, and hopefully that will catch the boys' attention and keep them competitive through the rest of the week. And we're back to work to
Back to grinding.
back to grinding. for
Well,
New Mexico.
the goal is to win your last 5, man.
I hope so. That'd be great.
Or 6, right? It's
We got 6 more.
Sorry. The Tuesday oddball throws me off.
You guys had Austin on their heels on Friday. Sherman and I were able to watch a good chunk of it. You guys were playing good hockey. Mako was playing outstanding. He's a really good goaltender. He's an elite competitor.
He is an elite
that's
competitor.
That's one thing about that kid. Like, he gets pissed off, and I think sometimes when players react that way, some coaches or some people will take it as like, this kid's a problem. He's not a problem. He's just a competitor, and you have to understand that about him. And he's an impressive goaltender, especially at that level. And but you guys had him on Friday, man. Like, honestly, I thought you guys were gonna take it. It got away from you guys just a little bit at the end. Obviously, you got the one thing that I loved is you had the goalie pulled you when you were down 1. He scored an empty netter, and you went right back at it and pulled the goalie. And I love that because it's just like, hey, who cares? We're going right after.
We're playing to
going
win, man.
Right.
We were pulling with down 2 anyway, so might as well let's go. Let's get after it, right? And I love that.
It doesn't matter what you lose. Well, it does, but it doesn't matter what you lose, but you still lose. Whether it's 1 or 2 or 3, whatever it is, and as long as the guys are competing to the end, that's good, man.
Yeah,
And the coaching staff.
and the coaching staff is like, Chase has done a really good job since he's been here too, and I think we just made a few too many mistakes at the end. Like, we're on the power play, we cough up a puck when we had our pulled goalie, and just little things that add up into the bigger things.
Right.
Kind of get away from us sometimes.
And I think the fun thing with junior hockey, like with pulling the goalie, so in the ACHA, there's a computer system that determines the rankings, and so like the goal differential makes a difference. And so there were some coaches, and I would have arguments with them, and they would say, unless we're down 1, I'm not pulling. I'm like, well, why not? Well, because of the rankings, the computer
rankings, yeah.
system, and I get that. But at the same time, if you play that way, when you get to the national tournament and you're down 1 or down 2, and you haven't had a lot of opportunities pulling the goalie,
Right.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
how are you going to do? Your players don't know how to react because
Yeah.
there's nothing like practicing it within a game. And outcome, not that it's irrelevant, but you have to go for it. You have to be all in and get those guys the reps and the opportunities to work on it. And
100%.
the team that I argued with the most on it, funny enough, at the national tournament, they had a situation where they were coming back. They were down 1 late in the game, and they were running around like chickens with their heads cut off. They didn't know what to do in a 6-on-5 situation, and it showed.
And it does take a couple of times to get used to that. But it as a player too, if my coach is pulling the goalie with like 3 or 4 minutes left and we're down a couple, like you're gonna go as much as you
Right.
can.
100%.
But we're not here to lose games. So
It's just like
It was worth it
it's
for
like
the
overtime when you're on 3-on-3, right? Like if you don't practice it, it's when you watch it. It's obviously overtime is puck possession. You want puck possession on 3-on-3, and you'll see it all day long when guys are changing stuff like that. They'll come out of the zone and go back to their own, and guys will change off and on, and it's more of a strategy versus a 5-on-5, the way I see it, because it is. There's so much more open ice. There's a lot more thought that goes into it, a lot more process. My opinion, and your personnel that you have on the ice, they better be the right guys, or you're going to get shoved up your ass pretty quick.
Yeah, it's all about picking your moment of when you get after it, and also what you said about the changes are the most important thing, hands down.
Yeah. But so this weekend you're off, Mikey. You're back here this weekend. You have Odessa's coming in. They'll travel Friday, be here. So they're not skating Friday.
Okay.
So they'll be here. So it'll be a good weekend. Again, Odessa's right on our heels too, and they're chasing. So it's another huge weekend here.
Yeah, no, it's big. They just lost 4 to New Mexico, so they're hungry.
Oh yeah.
Chase, they just got bumped out of a playoff spot, so they're going to come into this building. They had success last time they were here, so they're going to be feeling good about their chances coming into the weekend, and our guys got to be ready to go.
And it's always a good series against Odessa. They're so close. I wouldn't say they're our rivalry. I would go more with New Mexico, but it'll be a good weekend, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll be a good weekend. But we're going to talk about Four Nations. But first, to go, man. I got this Cupid stuff. It's very sweet.
Is it like a Valentine's Day?
Not very. It is sweet, but it's almost like a raspberry kind of taste. I don't know if that's right. What are you drinking?
This one is a chocolate-covered strawberry cream soda.
What do you got in the bottom there?
Boba.
Boba.
But I got
it's like
this-
a boba tea.
Yeah, but I got the skinny straws because I'm not a big boba guy. But like the flavor of this is really good. It tastes like a chocolate-covered strawberry. Like it's pretty good.
What are you drinking?
I got the mocha, and it tastes exactly like a coffee.
Good.
It's solid. Yeah, a little boba at the bottom as well.
T2Go is a huge sponsor of the Rhinos, so big shout out to those guys. We did two podcasts, one at their location on the west side, and then another one here. So again, shout out to T2Go. Thanks for always being supporters of the Rhinos for the NA3 and the NA. Four Nations. Game 1 tonight, Canada-Sweden, 6 p.m. I didn't, Herm and I were talking about it last night. I don't follow it very much, or obviously it's the first year they're doing it, but is it correct?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In this setup, yeah.
In this kind of setup, and like I saw that they're putting it together, but what is it?
To be honest with you, I'm not too versed on it. I think it's happened in the past, and they brought it back because of the lack of Olympic stuff that's going on.
Is that what it is?
That's what I believe.
I also heard that they're doing this to get rid of the All-Star game because the NHL is putting it on.
Well, I would rather watch this than the All-Star game anyway.
All day.
Oh, man.
All-Star
The
game
All-Star
is
game
terrible.
Terrible.
Do you think that these guys are going to go hard in this tournament, or is it going to be?
Man, when you wear the logo,
I think
of your
they're going.
country,
I think they're going
yeah.
for it.
I agree.
because it's for pride. Like you can't with that logo on your chest, you can't not go.
If Canada does not win this, I don't know, man.
Why?
Like you got McDavid, you got Crosby, you got who's the D-man from Colorado?
Kel McCarr.
McCarr. Like
Petrangelo got hurt. They brought in
he's Bush anyway, man.
Drew Doughty.
And he was bitching that he wasn't on the roster. I thought he
Yeah.
was anyway.
We just got back.
He bitches about everything.
He does. But,
Those are the kind of guys you have on your team.
Who do you got? Kachucks?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
the Hughes brothers.
The Hughes brothers, Kachuk.
Hughes brothers. Come
We
on.
got, I don't know, the best goalie in the league right now.
Right.
You guys are drinking the Kool-Aid, man.
Canada may get last place in Four Nations.
What? Well, we're certainly betting on this shit because you two.
I'm not betting that they're going to get last, but I'll bet.
No,
No,
but
no, no.
I'll bet you they finish higher than the U.S.
I don't know.
Oh, look at you guys now back putting.
No, I finished the bet. What
are
are
we
the
betting?
terms?
What are the terms? Yeah.
Well, straight up, whoever finishes better. I don't know, Aaron. What's a bet we could do, man? Like these guys won't want to shave their heads because they're wussies like that.
Oh, I'm not sure about it.
Well, we have wives, and they're gonna
And
be-
I don't.
Yeah, but you're getting older anyway, so I don't know how much you have to lose.
We were just talking about my hair, my wife and I yesterday. I got
looks
good.
good.
I have good hair.
It
man.
looks good.
You're in your Corey Crawford year, buddy.
But it will be a fun tournament to watch.
So what are we betting? We're not getting off this topic.
What
So
is
we
it?
bet.
I don't know. Put something out there. That's not shaving my head or eating a hot chip. Those are the two things that I won't do.
Oh.
That hot chip is ridiculous. I couldn't.
It,
not do
yeah,
that.
it was hot. But you know what? People like that stuff. So we got to do something silly like that. I don't know. Come on, Aaron.
Try a hot sauce then. Is that the same thing like a hot chip?
Yeah, these guys won't do that.
I'll do that. I'll do it. I'll
do it.
as
I'll
long
do
as
hot
it's
wing
not
or
that
something.
specific chip, because I've just seen that happen, and I'm not good with that. But I'll do a hot sauce. But I don't know. Like
I don't know how we'll do that.
Yeah.
Put it on a chicken wing.
Habanero chicken wings. No, that's. I don't know. Well,
That's not a punishment.
How about a lunch, a decent lunch, not like McDonald's or anything, but
40
40s,
steak sandwich.
40s,
Sure.
40 steak sandwich.
I'm in on that.
I'll do it. I'll do that.
Whose ever team loses,
Finishes higher.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So really, I'm getting screwed because if I lose, it's 2. If you guys win, you're splitting 1.
it's perfect.
Sounds
I'll
good.
take that.
That's fair
That's the
enough.
kind of guy I am.
Yeah.
But you guys here, it'll be good.
It's gonna be interesting,
exciting.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're playing in Montreal and Boston, I think. I
Yeah.
think that's where it is. So
I saw something pretty cool. They had the U.S. team had Johnny Gaudreau, his father
Was on the ice
Was
with
on the ice with them. I believe his name's Guy Gaudreau, and he spent some time with the U.S. team, and he was out there, and I thought that was awesome of them to honor him because there's no way that Johnny's not on this team. Like he's 100%
Right.
on this team, and so I thought that it was awesome that they included him in it.
The players coming up to him too, and introducing themselves and getting pictures with them was awesome to see.
100%.
that's one thing that I will say. Hockey in general, and I'm not bashing any other sports, but I am,
Except for basketball,
except for basketball, man.
we are bashing you.
Yeah, pretty classy in general. We got our douchebags too, but there's in the realm of things, hockey guys are pretty classy, man.
Yeah.
Somebody, like I'm not. We'll exclude football for the moment, but you take basketball for instance. Like the stuff it carries on afterwards. You know what I mean? Into the stands or on social media or whatever. You know what I mean? Like if there's a beat between me and you on the court, it seems like it carries over.
Drama.
There's always something. But hockey guys, we could be battling in practice, and as soon as it's over in your locker room, as soon as it's over, it's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just move on. And I don't get other sports. And again, it's not everyone. It's just, can't we just all get along?
It's a lot to do with the respect aspect and like the team mentality. I think that hockey is a great team sport. You don't see as much individualism as there is in the NBA.
Because there can't be. And
Now is it a money thing? Now we'll just talk professional sports, not the minors, because we don't know how youth basketball or youth soccer or whatever that is. I don't know.
I mean, I would imagine the money thing plays a factor
Because
to some
football
regard.
players and basketball players make a lot more money than hockey players.
But I would say there's a lot more football players that you would consider to be more team guys. Just I think it's the culture of the sport where like there's something to be said about a guy who's really putting his body on the line. Dive in front of a puck, blocking a shot.
Yeah.
In football, you see things like that. In basketball, you used to like a Kobe Bryant, but nowadays you don't. Guys cramp up and they're getting carried off the floor. Like it's a little bit different now. How about that? Yeah, like the two biggest crybabies in the entire NBA.
LeBron and his son?
I don't think his son's even a crybaby. The poor kid's
Just trying to stay alive.
the poor kid is. Everyone's just blowing him up because he shouldn't be where he is, and
No,
it's
he
all,
should
and
not.
it's all his dad's fault, and it has nobody to blame but the crybaby, and
So who are you saying, LeBron?
and Luka. Luka went over from the Mavs. They traded him, and he's the biggest crybaby.
Is he
ever,
really?
too. Oh man, he's the worst with the refs in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's got a mouth on him.
Yeah, they're both just watch. You're gonna see it this year.
That's the problem, Mike. I don't watch.
No.
I'd
Well,
rather watch grass
if you
or
watch-
paint dry.
If you watch ESPN, they'll tell you every time LeBron James has a bowel movement. So
Yeah, he's certainly that I do know he's a crybaby. I can't, I dislike him as much as I do the old Super Bowl loser there,
that was awesome.
Patrick Mahomes.
Watching them just
How
get waxed.
good was that?
That was amazing to watch. Amazing.
How good was that?
We watched that on the bus. We put him up on the TVs.
That's awesome.
But yeah, Jalen Hurts, that guy's a
Dude,
stud.
lights out
Total
competitor,
stud.
man.
Yeah.
Just does it the right way.
Talk about a team guy too. That's your guy.
Guy's a soundbite, man. Just
Yes, he
every
is.
single interview, he creates a
Just-
soundbite.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I
I was so happy that he lost.
dude, he got pulled. He got benched in a national championship game, and now he's a Super Bowl MVP.
Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
Team guy.
Team guys. Speaking about team guys, fellas, good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
To you,
Thank
Mike. I know you're off, and enjoy your weekend off. Maybe we'll see you around the rink. I don't know.
We'll be here to support.
And thanks for tuning in, everybody. And take care, comb your hair, keep a stick on the ice.